course, Grace. Men's quads, Brown University on the top of your screen, Leander Club A on the right-hand side of your screen. And yes, we're just recovering from that downpour. But it looks to be clearing up a little bit, and both crews off cleanly off the start there.
Yeah, these crews would have been warming up and then waiting in that torrential downpour. So there's also the risk of hands can be a bit wet, grips can be a bit slippy. I always remember racing in the torrential rain, always a little bit more worried about holding on to blades, especially in a quad race.
Yeah, as Catherine said, we're used to this here. It's kind of the rain we get during the summer. So if you're thinking about heading to Henley, bring your waterproofs. But very fast start there from this Leander crew here on the Buckinghamshire station, the right-hand side of your screen, over Brown as they come past the end of the island.
Yeah, the Leander crew have shot out, I mean, just from that first stroke, absolutely looking for domination in this event. So very, very fast start. They're still sitting at high rate, and both crews are sort of still powering down. You can see the work, you can see the rate coming through. And you know, the following crew, when you're in Brown University, you are not willing to give up that overlap. You can be trying to hold on to that leading crew.
I imagine they get pretty cold sitting out there in the start, so it's going to be a bit of a jump into it here as they're coming through the first minute and a half of the race. Leander pushing out to about a length, almost breaking clear water, and that's what you want to do, Catherine, isn't it? I mean, we always say you want to be looking back on the crew that you're beating, and right here, Leander had an absolutely cracking start. Heads up as they're heading towards the barrier.
Yeah, even in these conditions, I mean, the other incentive is you want to get it out of this rain as soon as possible. So they are, I mean, good grief, Alex. So just to remind you, we're nearly in July in Britain here, and here's the lovely conditions you can look forward to. I mean, brilliant for all 8 of the women we see on the water now. They're holding their nerve, they're holding the rhythm. That wind coming up and the bouncing rain, you can see the rain having the effect on the waves as well. It's not going to be a comfortable scull, but I must say they're doing an incredible job to make it look comfortable.
Looking down the boat there from the bow seat, there's Ella Toro in the bow seat, Rosa Thompson, Natasha Harris-White, Jessica Martin stroking, 19 years old Jessica there in the stroke seat, doing a great job. As we squint to see through this torrential rain, we can see just about make out 2 crews there battling it down the Henley course.
And Rosa and Natasha in that Leander quad have been part of the crew that won championship quads at Women's Henley. So they have been out there on this course and known what it means to win, but they probably have not faced quite these conditions.
Nice shot there, the Brown crew keeping in this race, and that's what you do at this point in the race, Catherine, isn't it? You keep in your boat, you're doing your thing. A little look across there. Jarden in the 2 seat, having a look, telling a crew they're right there, stay with it.
Thing as well, I mean it's good because Brown haven't completely dropped back. They're going to still feel that Leander crew ahead of them, even though Leander have been dominating the race so far. You know, there's a real chance for Brown University to close this gap at this point. They're going to want to get that overlap back and want to start closing them down. In these conditions as well, it can be quite unsettling. Like it just takes a slight catch on that water, or again, if the hands start to slip on the grips, then you can pounce very quickly in a quad. So Brown will be putting themselves in the best possible position to seize any opportunity that comes their way.
Exactly. When we're looking at these sculling boats, they have a slightly longer arc than the sweep boats, because you can kind of rotate around a bit more. And if you think about it, you've got 2 oars, you've got slightly more surface area, so the ability to change pace is actually quite high. You've got a lot of power in a small boat with a lot of surface area. So we do see changes sometimes in these races. And Brown have held it at the moment. It's a little bit of clear water to this Leander crew on the Buckinghamshire station. The bottom of your screen, the yellow boat, the pink blades of Leander. Classy rowing from them there, but can Brown stay in touch? Just half length of clear water.
We just see again through this sort of very grey sight Ella Toa in the bow seat of the Leander crew. She's actually raced for New Zealand, the 2019 Under-23 World Championships. So she has also had some fantastic experience on the world stage, and will hopefully, weather aside, be enjoying this row down the course. Because as they move out, that's now a length. It's not totally comfortable yet, I'd say, but it's in that quad in the Leander boat. You're going to start to feel you are where you need to be, and the end's not in sight yet, but the gap is growing almost every stroke, and that's going to feel more comfortable each time they step away.
And it's great to see these American universities coming across here. Hello if you're watching from the other side of the Atlantic. because you normally see the women's program really heavily favoured towards the sweep events, and we see the difference that Title IX has made on some of these huge American college programs. But it's great to see the sculling here, and oh, a bit of a crab there from the bow.
What a shame, structure
brown
of the
crew.
brown crew. That is a hard thing to get back. Like we said, these conditions, it can just become unpredictable. Things happen very quickly, and that's a big thing to try and catch up now.
Very slippy handles out there, and they're doing a great job, both crews. These are not the kind of conditions you really want to race down your Henley racing, but you know, we're an outdoor sport. We're here to do whatever it gets thrown at us, and they're doing a great job out there, and fair play to them. But yeah, these sculling events have really kind of taken off, and it says the catalyst is probably, you know, that American women's quad that won a brilliant bronze medal at the 2012 games, and we've seen the quad come through, being world champions in the past 10 years in this event, and you see it more and more. We've got a Cal quad here, we've got the Brown quad, and it's really exciting to see, isn't it? They're spreading the depth across the disciplines.
Yeah, and like you said, it's really great that and Catherine commented earlier, that the crews from the States and globally want to come here to this regatta to compete, and vice versa. You know, there's a real international feel to travelling around the world, and it's great to see women's, you know, big boats, little boats, sculling sweep, really taking on this and raising the standard. Every time we see it, it seems like this event gets stronger and stronger.
Lovely shot there, Leander coming down through the enclosures. They've taken their rate of striking. That's how many strokes per minute they're taking. They've taken it down a bit, look a little bit more relaxed now. Their shoulders are low, their heart rate's probably coming down a little bit. And what have they got to do now, Catherine? How do they get to the finish line in the next 200 metres?
Do exactly what they're doing. I mean, they would have felt a huge benefit from the crab that was sadly caught from the Brown University boat. It just gives, you know, when you see if your opposition catches a crab, which is still, you know, unusual, but in these conditions possible, then it just gives you that extra gap. You can relax, you have it more controlled, you have it, and then the under crew are just going to do exactly what they need to do and just coast across the line here.
Little low cross there from Ella Tor in the bow seat. Job done. That's a win in Princess Grace Challenge Cup for Leander Ray over Brown University.